Okay, so I'm going to do one of my favourite demonstrations today, and this is the disappearing beaker demonstration. So this is relevant in topics to do with light, and in particular it's to do with refraction. So the only reason I've got gloves on is because the oil, well, it's impossible to get off once you've got it on you. Okay, so this big beaker is filled with oil, and I'm going to get just a smaller beaker. It is a little bit covered in oil already. Here's my smaller beaker, and I'm going to place this inside the big beaker. So nothing has really happened yet. I'm sure you're expecting something to disappear, otherwise it wouldn't be called the disappearing beaker. Just going to push that inside and watch what happens. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around a little bit. If I turn that around, you should be able to see, or not see, at the bottom, you should not be able to see the actual beaker. I'm going to pour a little bit more in so you can't see the top either. It's trying to come up. There we go. So the only bit of the beaker inside that you should be able to see now are the numbers. So 20, 40, 60, 80 on the markings, essentially on the actual beaker. So I haven't actually done any magic. Okay, there you can see the numbers on the inside, but you should not be able to see the actual the edges of the beaker. Now the reason for this is to do with refraction, which is the bending of light, and I'm not going to go into that too much, so you should really make sure you've read up on that before you watch this demonstration, otherwise you won't really understand. But it's about the bending of light when light changes speed. Now what's happening is the light is going through the oil. That oil has a particular refractive index, which is a property of the oil to tell you exactly how much it's going to bend the light by. And the glass inside, the beaker inside as well, this happens to have the same refractive index as the oil. So the reason we can't actually see it is because the light is not bending when it reaches the beaker inside, because the oil and the beaker have the same refractive index, and therefore we're unable to see it. So we only see things that reflect light or make light bend when they enter through it. Okay, so most things we see via reflection. So we can see this beaker here because of the reflection of light. But the beaker inside, you cannot see that because the refractive index is the same as of the oil, and therefore the light does not bend, and therefore we can't see it. So that's why it's called the disappearing beaker. It's actually one of my favourites. Got to be careful not to drop this now. Very, very oily. So obviously you can see that there was a beaker inside. I haven't done any tricks to the camera or anything like that. So there we go. Just going to put that back in. There we go. Right.